Hi, my name is Kumail Nanjiani, and I feel skeptical about being Conan O'Brien's best friend.
Well, oh wow, you added best friend. It
Oh
doesn't.
my God, it does not say
It
that.
doesn't
on
say.
purpose?
You did that on
No.
purpose. Well, guess
Oh
what?
my God.
Guess what? I don't really have a best friend.
You don't
so
have a.
You could be in the running.
Are you looking?
I am.
I bring a lot to the table.
You know what? First of all, you do. You are very talented. I've been enjoying your comedy. You're a hilarious person.
Thank you.
And you've had this incredible career arc. I would be proud to call you my best friend. And there's a couple of people out there listening right now who think they're my best friend.
Yeah, like Timothy Oliphant. I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it really him?
No, he's not my best friend. I love Timothy Oliphant, but he's been getting a lot of play recently because we released a Jordan video, which we haven't released in a while. And we released a Jordan video because Jordan has been making cameo appearances on the side, Jordan Schlansky. And we made a video where I rip into him for that. And he comes right back at me, and his riposte, his angry comeback is,
I know you have your celebrity friends, you have your dinners with Timothy Oliphant.
people really like that line. And I know for a fact because I get contacted right after that video came out, hours after it came out, I'm contacted by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And it's a quote, and it says, "You have your dinners with Timothy Oliphant!" Exclamation point. And he said, this is burning a hole in my brain. That Jordan shouted this at you.
You guys are one of the famous friendships. There's famous friendships. Like, Mulaney and Pete Davidson is a famous friendship.
Right.
There are like famous friendships. And I feel like you and Timothy Oliphant are.
I want it to be. I love that guy, but he'll go off for 7 months at a time. He's a working actor in demand, and he'll be making a movie in Wales, and I don't see him, and I can't have that in a best friend. You, I know, are very busy,
But I'll be around.
You'll make the time.
Yeah. That sounds so sinister.
You'll make the time.
It's
Kumail.
Very needy.
Yeah, unbreaking eye contact. You haven't blinked for the last 3 minutes.
My eyes are painted on. I'm a creepy doll in a museum. It's so much fun because you came by. This happens so often, but and it's the nature of this gig. But you came by about 10 minutes ago to record the podcast, and you and I started talking comedy and TV shows. And I'm a massive, my son and I are massive fans of Silicon Valley, and we rewatch it and kind of study it. We love it so much. We were talking about that. We were talking about The Simpsons. We were talking about all kinds of stuff. And people around us are saying, why aren't we recording this? But you're one of those people who the minute I see you, I feel like, oh, Kumail and I could talk for maybe like 4 hours about things we like.
That's so great to hear, because I feel the same way about you. And the last time we ran into each other was at a restaurant.
Exactly.
You introduced me to Martin Short.
That's right.
And Liza, who I don't think I'd met before. She's lovely.
Yep.
And Martin Short, I was, very, very excited to meet. What a nice guy.
Yeah, it was a really sweet moment because Liza, my wife, and I were having dinner with Martin Short, and you came in and you had your own posse at the table. You had a cool group together.
I had a nice group. You came by, you said hi, and then you walked away. And then when I went over, I was like, "Hey, would you introduce me to Martin Short?" You were like, "Come by." So I went over like
you
a half
asked
hour
me,
later.
and that was sweet because it was a nice moment because you were so sweet about, oh my God, if you could just introduce me to Martin Short, that would be like I've never met him. And so it was one of those nice moments in life where all I had to do was say, "Oh, Marty, Kumail," and he was very happy to meet you. I did nothing except, but I felt you treated me as if I had done you this huge favor, even though all I did was.
Now that I think about it, you didn't do very much.
I didn't do anything.
So I need.
Sound like it.
Maybe you should be best friends with Martin Short.
Yes.
I feel like we could have a good famous friendship going, because he's a very nice, giving man. I don't know.
What do you mean giving man? Hold on a second. Giving man. I love how
contrast to Conan.
He's a giving man.
That's how it was. That's how it was laid out.
Well, what I mean is, when I met him, I think he understood how much he meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like extra kind, because he knew that him being nice to me would mean a lot to me.
Yes.
And the other thing that happened was, this is going to feel like a name drop, but you came, you said hi to people at our table. There was a gentleman sitting next to me, and you talked to him for a while. Good to see you, whatever. And then you went and sat down. When I came, met Martin Short. He was lovely. And then you were like, hey, who's the guy sitting next to you? And I said, Ewan McGregor? Is that
What?
I didn't recognize that it was Ewan McGregor.
He had
Now,
a big beard.
He had a big beard, and it was outdoors because it was still one of those COVID
Where it's
situations.
famously hard to see outdoors.
Were you?
At night with bad lighting.
He was wearing a T-shirt that said "I'm Ewan McGregor."
And I didn't recognize him right away. I
He
just
had
said
a-
hi. I was very pleasant to him. And also, I'm going to say this.
You
I
were
was-
very pleasant, and you didn't
I
recognize
stood,
him?
I stood behind. I was talking to you. He had his back to me, and I kind of did one of those highs around the corner thing. So I didn't really get a good look at him. I swear to God.
With that Scottish accent? What about
And those
that?
eyes?
Those
He didn't
Yeah.
say
That
much.
hair?
He didn't say
Did
much.
you
And he
act like you recognized him?
no, I
Yeah.
thought he was. I was just being very polite to a human being.
You were being very polite, and I didn't realize that you didn't recognize him. Like, you did a good job. And obviously, as soon as I went back, I was like, hey, by the way, he had no idea who you were. I'm joking. I didn't do that.
But
I
also,
did not do that.
I've interviewed Ewan McGregor. I love Ewan McGregor. I love his work. But when I saw him, I didn't get a good look at his face. He has a big beard. It's dark out.
Yeah,
We're in
because
this
he's playing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, but
he
hold
had a
on.
lightsaber at the time.
Yeah, but he wasn't wearing a kilt. He didn't have a tam o' shanter.
No. Oh, no.
I saw
Why
no-
are you directing it
Oh.
outwards?
I
Why
saw
to
no.
him?
I saw
Yeah.
no bagpipes.
Why are
I saw,
you attacking
You
him?
know, he wasn't saying, "Can you score me some heroin for my part in Train Spotting?" I mean, things that were.
I like that you needed clarification for what movie you were referencing. The most famous heroin movie that introduced us to Ewan McGregor.
Really, is it the most famous heroin movie?
Yes,
there are
yes.
so many.
What's-
I think Wizard of Oz is a heroin movie.
Okay,
The
well,
poppies. I mean, I'm sorry. They all get high on the poppy field.
I
and
mean,
collapse.
you could have said Requiem for a Dream, which is obviously like a drug movie.
Uh-huh.
But I want to say, you said something to me at that thing that I thought was
By the
very-
way, who is Ewan McGregor?
Oh,
Oh God! Oh my God! Matt's gonna explode right now. You're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. No, that was Alec Guinness.
okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wasn't he Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, but come on.
Oh,
You know.
let me guess. Did they make other Star Wars movies
Oh.
afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, don't mess with perfection.
I like that you're attacking Ewan McGregor, the one guy who is not at fault here.
Yeah. Really.
I'm really not attacking him. I swear to God. And Ewan, I know you're a big fan of the podcast and you're listening. I am not attacking you. I am sorry you had a giant beard. You were not wearing overtly stereotypical Scottish
Oh,
attire,
God.
which I think is the job of anyone from
Right.
Scotland.
You recognized me because I was wearing a shalwar kurta at the time.
You were. Yes. Yes.
And I had a map of Pakistan with an arrow pointing, and it said homeland.
Yes.
How do you know who he is today? He's got a
Because when he
t-shirt on.
walked in, he was holding again the aforementioned map that had a big map of Pakistan and it said homeland. And
Yeah.
so that helps me. Those things help me.
And I brought the traditional sweets of my people.
Yes. That's what Sona did when I first met her. She brought me the traditional dried pomegranate and
Oh
apricot
God!
of
Yeah.
the Armenian people.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, you're Armenian. Let me make fun of you for
I
the
would
next
never,
14 years.
never do that. You can't get away with that in this day and age, and
You
I
said
never would.
floated in this country in a basket. So
Not true. I want to talk to you about the Chippendales project because that's coming out in, I think it's a week now.
Yeah, next week.
And
November
you've worked
22nd.
really hard on this, and this is based on a true story.
Yeah, so the show is called Welcome to Chippendales. It's based on the guy who started Chippendales, the male stripping thing, was an Indian immigrant, which I didn't know until I started, until they talked to me about this project. And it's a wild story. Like, a lot of really intense stuff happened. People got murdered. It's like a really crazy. It's just so much happens in it that I don't want to say. And don't go on Wikipedia. Watch the show. And initially, they'd come to me as a movie right after The Big Sick came out. So like 4 years ago. And I said no because I was very intimidated to play a character like this.
Right.
And when it came back and now it was a miniseries, I sort of saw the whole thing. They pitched me it's Rob Siegel is the creator of it. He did Pam and Tommy. He's written a lot of great movies like The Wrestler. He did Big Fan. Have you seen that movie with Patton?
Yes, fantastic.
Great writer. And I talked to him 3 or 4 times, and he was like, I think you can do this. And then he pitched me, on the 4th meeting, he pitched me every episode, all 8 episodes. He's like, this is what happens in episode 2, episode 3. And I was like, this is just too cool to not do. I have to do it. And I just have to figure out how to not be scared of it anymore, And it was really, really the most satisfying professional experience I've had since making The Big Sick.
Really?
I really felt like it's interesting because I've worked with a lot of actors who come from the comedy world. And so when you work with people who come from the other angle, from theater, from serious acting school, we may end up in the same place, but they come from a completely different perspective. The way they approach acting, it's so exciting to work with people like that because comedy can be competitive, Even when I'm doing a stand-up show with my best friends, I want to be the best on that show. That's not the job of theater actors. They want to make you better. They want to be there with you. They want to collaborate with you. And you've done a lot of collaborative comedy. I started in stand-up. It's not collaborative at all. It's competitive. And then on this show, working with Murray Bartlett and Annalee Ashford, who are 2 of the best actors I've ever worked with, I learned so much from them. There was something I was doing in a scene in episode 7, and I was like, oh, I learned that from Murray back in episode 2. So it's like every day you're working with these people who are the best you've ever worked with, and you're learning so much every day. And for the first time ever, I had I'm having trouble with this scene. And I would go to my co-stars and be like, hey, I'm having trouble with this scene. Could you help me through it? And we'd sit on the floor and we'd work on it together. It was so exciting. It was the most fun I've had at a job in a very long time.
I have to say, there's this way that our business, or whatever our business is, but television particularly has changed so much. And we're in this era now where there's 8 episodes,
Yeah.
And I'm really think it's a great trend. It's a great innovation because, as you know, TV used to be, can you get 5 seasons out of it? And and it used to be in the really old days, can you get 10 seasons out of it? And can you just flog this horse until it dies?
Yes.
And now there are all these projects where people work really hard, as hard or harder than they would work on any feature film. They look great, they're beautifully made, and they take you on this journey that's like an 8-hour journey, and everybody gets pulled into it, and you watch it, you follow it, you get really invested, and when it's over, it's very satisfying. I like this new era of television.
Yeah, and honestly, our crew, wardrobe, hair, makeup, set design, props, everybody was the best in the business and really wanted to be really, really good. So the show looks amazing. Our DP, everybody's amazing. And the big thing for me going from doing sitcom to this is, sitcoms are sort of about stasis. You're sort of resetting, like you were talking about Silicon Valley. Once we figure out our characters, that's the formula, and you're sort of doing that, iterating that in different ways. Doing a miniseries is about change.
Yes.
It's really about how these characters change over 8 episodes. So the approach is very different. With Silicon Valley, I could get a script and do it. With this, you really have to kind of map out all 8 episodes, where the changes are, the different decision points, the forks in the road, which side, which side you choose, which side you go. So it's a very different approach. And it's really more exciting because you can it's not more exciting. I love doing comedy. Actually, we did, you were in Murderville.
Yeah.
I loved doing that show so much.
Wasn't that fun?
It was so fun because I just miss being all you have to do is be as funny as possible for these 30 minutes.
And react.
React, yeah.
Will Arnett, I'm sure, with you, he's called up and just said, I want to do this project where you don't know anything. You're a police trainee and you were going to enter scenes and not know what's happening and just respond. And I had people say to me later on, "Oh, that must have been terrifying." And I said, "Oh, no, 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 no. There's nothing greater than having no responsibility."
Yes.
And also, I mean, it's Will Arnett, and he got all these other he's so brilliantly funny.
So funny.
But he's so much fun to play with. You can't fuck up because I have no lines. There's nothing I'm supposed to or not supposed to do. So then the little child in you comes out.
Yeah.
And you're just down with anything. It's just say yes to anything.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. But you're right. There are these different ways now to work, and not just in comedy, but there are these different ways now to entertain, I think, that weren't available. Young people don't know this, but they weren't available 10 years ago. I think, to me, the big change, without getting like too analytical, is Breaking Bad was a TV show. It wasn't a sitcom, but it was a TV show that kept, I mean, more brilliantly than I think it had ever been done before. It characters are all changing very slowly over this. I don't remember how many seasons it is. Is it 8 seasons?
Is it 7?
7? It's 6 seasons. Over 6 seasons, the vision that Vince Gilligan had he always said he wanted to take the main character, Walt. He wanted him to go from Mr. Chips, the English school teacher, to Scarface. But and do it so elegantly that you never questioned any step along the way, and he pulled it off. But you can't define where it all changes. It's so incremental that by the time it was over, you understood completely why this had all happened. Yet it's an insane journey, and I think now that the TV I grew up with was very much everything. Whatever happens in an episode, at the end of the episode, everyone has to be back where they were at the beginning of the episode.
Right.
That was the rule of sitcoms. It's like the Gilligan's Island. At the end of the episode, they have to still be on the island and content with their lot in life. And then we'll start the next one.
Yeah, whatever lesson they've learned, they'll have forgotten by the time the next episode starts. It's totally true.
We really took that to the extreme on The Simpsons, where occasionally the top brass would come in and say, "You're making Homer too stupid."
Yeah, he forgets how to breathe at one point.
At one point, he forgets how to make his heart beat. And my favorite, and they used to come in and say, like, guys, come on, because we would try to outdo each other in the writer's room about how stupid we could make Homer. And my favorite was once Homer's brain got so mad at Homer that it walked out on him. I don't even know what that means, but there's a point where Homer's brain challenges him to not do something stupid, and he still does something stupid, and you hear Homer's consciousness go, "Okay, that does it." And then you hear footsteps and a door slam, which means his consciousness left him forever through a door.
Well, see, that's great. Those shows, there's a joy to them, like those comedy shows. I love those shows. Seinfeld, everybody stays the same. Those shows are amazing. It's just now it's a different type of thing. Like
different type of thing.
Breaking Bad is kind of the best example. We're just watching Better Call Saul for the first time.
Oh, it's so great.
It's so good. And, sometimes I always think of, Breaking Bad as like a serious show. I think of these serious shows as being serious. They're not. They're like really fun and inventive and funny. And I mean, Sopranos is really, really funny.
Yep.
I sort of forget that sometimes. But that was what was cool about Welcome to Chippendales, was trying to do that arc and like every episode figuring out where the little steps are so that it all makes sense. And the guy in the beginning, at the end, they're completely different.
I'm curious because there's got to be some, you're so in touch with who you were, maybe how insecure you were as a kid, and then you completely transform your body, and that's got to release all kinds of revelations. You know what I mean? Just in terms of, okay, this is something that wouldn't have seemed possible to me when I was a 9-year-old, and
Right.
this never felt like it was a possibility. And then I always think great wisdom comes from having your dream come true, and not always the best. You know, I mean, it's always a mixed bag. It's not all bad. It's not all good. But
Yeah. I feel what I knew I always had was determination. And so there was a point where I was like, all right, I'm just going to like change how I look for this thing now. What it weirdly did was, you know, as a kid, until I was like 7 or 6, I was the cutest kid you'd ever seen. I was adorable, and I knew it. Like, if I walked into a store, I knew it.
Is it because you had those muscles back then?
Yeah, I was a buff little kid. Yeah.
It's so funny it's so funny you say you knew it. Like, you would walk up to adults and go, "Are you ready to meet a cutie pie?"
I wouldn't have to. I was so cute that shopkeepers were threatened to kidnap me.
Wow.
So I was
That's
like,
the ultimate compliment, by the way. Oh, you're kidnappable.
It really, like, literally all the time. Like, if I walked in the store and I didn't get a compliment, I'd be like, what is wrong with these people?
Wow.
Yeah. You should see pictures of me. Like, until I was 6 or 7, I was adorable. And then it really changed very quickly. My neck got really long. I got 4 Adam's apples. My head got huge.
Did you live near a reactor?
Yeah.
There may be an explanation here.
Yeah.
Both eyes joined and formed one eye.
And I got cancer. I should have mentioned that.
But also heat vision.
But
yeah. I mean, it all balances out.
The worst of the powers.
You're right.
Yeah.
You have a microwave.
Yeah,
That's
we
all you
have
need.
a microwave. Yeah, the most useless power there is. I can heat up coffee slightly. It doesn't work that well. It's more of a warming ray.
That'd be great. A superhero who can make things slightly warmer.
Right.
Would you like me to? No, we're good. We have a microwave. Okay.
How's your soup? Is it slightly cold?
No,
Yeah.
my soup's fine.
I can bring it up to slightly above room temp.
It's really good. It's fine. Thank you.
My
It's a Vichy Soir. It's supposed to be a little cool.
Yeah. My weakness is gazpacho.
Dr. Gazpacho versus slightly warm guy.
And my body stayed tiny. Like, my shoulders stayed tiny. They used to call me chicken shoulders at school.
That's a very
specific.
descriptive and specific put down.
Right.
I don't even think of a chicken having shoulders.
Exactly.
Oh, I get
Exactly.
They were so good at it.
it. Wow.
Yeah, and who goes to a KFC and orders the chicken shoulders? Nobody.
Do you
Can I get a bucket of chicken shoulders? They have no shoulders!
Oh, no. It's off menu like
Yeah.
In-N-Out. You got to ask for it. It's good.
That's why their sweaters fall off. Anyway, come on. We're having a good time. No one's getting hurt.
You ever seen a chicken in suspenders?
Wait till you see a chicken shrug.
Yeah. When you see a chicken opening a present at Christmas and it's suspenders and he goes, like, what am I going to fucking do with this? Okay, we're putting an end to this riff. This shoulder riff needs to end.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes. Keep going, guys. But so
it took me, I remember when it dawned on me, I was like, nobody's threatened to kidnap me in a while.
Oh.
Wonder what's going on.
Oh.
And then looking in the mirror being like, oh no, huge nose. They also called me eggplant nose. So they had a few little different, like, poultry/vegetable based.
yeah, they seem hungry.
Yeah.
They're very hungry.
They were. I mean, it's Pakistan. We're hungry. And so I sort of became very obsessed with how I looked from the age of like 10 to really my early 20s. And then I sort of in my 20s doing work to be like, it doesn't matter how you look. That's kind of why comedy was so important to me, where it doesn't matter how you look.
Right.
I remember I was doing a show early on. I won't say who it is, but I was with a handsome guy, and I came back and I like gained some weight, and he like made fun of me, and I was like, I can look like anything and work just as much as I work now. You need to look like that to work.
Right.
And I remember feeling very proud of myself because I could see it hurt his feelings. And so then doing the work and not worrying about it as much, and then later again to sort of get in this kind of shape and worrying about how I looked again, it was kind of a mind fuck to sort of, it felt like I'd like regressed 10 years back to how it was. And then now I think I have a good relationship with it, because the working out, you were saying not being in the moment. When I work out, I feel in the moment, because you're lifting heavy weight and you kind of need to be there and focus on that. You have to be outside yourself. You have to make sure you're using it properly. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. So I get really a lot out of it. My anxiety has been a lot lower. I sleep a lot better since I've been like working out a bunch.
And it probably changes your diet too, I would think.
It does, and it made me realize how things make me feel when I'm eating them. So like now I know, I can eat this donut and it's going to feel great for, 90 seconds because we eat fast. But for the next 2 hours, my energy is going to be weird. I'm going to feel bloated, like I'm going to feel low energy. So now I'm aware of how things make me feel. That's the biggest thing.
I wasn't aware of any of these things until I met Liza. And Liza's just naturally very healthy. I mean, the first time when we were first dating, I stopped by her apartment and was going to take her out. And I said, "Did you want to get some food?" And she said, "Oh, no, I ate already." And she had this, tiny, tiny, tiny apartment with like a little piece of a kitchen, this little fragment of a kitchen. And I said, "You ate already?" And I didn't see any pans or, if I had, it's in the same situation, if I had told someone I just ate, there'd have been like a ham carcass in the corner. And three empty boxes of Cocoa Krispies. But there was not, and I said, "Hey, what did you eat?" And she said, "Oh, no, I'm fine. I had some almonds and I had some dates. And then I had, some tea, and I'm all ready to go." And I thought, you're an insane person.
Let me ask, does she enjoy food?
Loves it, and eats very healthy things. But that's just, and then I met her people, and her people are just, they have something that my people
like her
don't.
Agents and lawyers and
her people,
managers.
yes. Like her parents and her family, they're sensible. They eat sensible foods in sensible quantities. And I thought, I've never seen this before. I come from crazed Irish hillbillies that just, no one's sensibly eating a sensible amount of food and then saying, "That's enough." We're all eating our feelings because we can't talk about other things.
Right.
And so
if you're eating, you don't have to talk to them.
Yeah, and you don't have to talk about things that might be complicated. You can just, "I'll show you. I'll swallow all this food and then go take a nap. And then my feelings will just be excreted along with the food."
Oh, come on.
But
did I go too far?
Yeah. When you start getting into poop, it's too far.
Did I say poop?
You said excreted.
Yeah, it could be through perspiration.
No, you implied you were shitting out your sadness.
Yeah.
I certainly did. I certainly did.
I also come from a family.
My toilet said to me once, "You've got a lot of stuff to unpack." And I said, "Hey, sentient toilet." No, but I guess I did. But I since then, I think about those things, which is a huge change for me. I think about, how is this going to make me feel?
Yeah.
So I'm doing better at that, but the day that I can divide my plate in half and slowly eat half and not eat the other half, I don't think that's happening in my lifetime.
Not this day. My family is the same. You eat as much as you possibly can, partly because Pakistani food is amazing and my mom is now the best cook I know.
Mm-hmm.
And when we visit, it's the same thing. Emily's like, "Your parents are just always forcing you to eat, forcing me to eat." We eat as much as possible. But now as they've gotten older and started having, everyone in my family dies of a heart attack. Everybody does.
On principle?
Yeah, we hold out.
Okay.
Like if we
It's
get
what the cool kids do.
Yeah.
I see, okay.
If we get cancer or something, we start eating butter and running in bad ways.
What age do they get the heart attack, usually? Because this is important.
Yes. So my grandmother passed away at the age of 40 of a heart attack,
God.
which is very, very young. My dad has had he had an 8 bypass thing, which is really huge. But what I'm very proud of for them is they've really gotten it together. They both eat very, very healthy now. They've changed their diet completely. They still eat Pakistani food, but now, it's vegetables. It's not as much rice, not as much carbs. They eat no sugar. So I'm very proud of them for the changes that they've made in their lives. It's hard because there's also like cultural pressure to not do it.
Oh, of course. I mean, I think you talk about Pakistani food. I think about the food that Irish immigrants, or immigrant culture. It was always a meat, potato, lots of butter, lots of, and lots of dairy, lots of bread, and every meal was some version of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's so cultural. It's all so cultural. We come from this, and then it's been around in some version or another for hundreds of years, because it's only a recent luxury that people could say, I should start thinking about what I eat. Of course. It used to be, if you can find something to eat, get it into you, and you get to live.
Yes, exactly.
And now, and that is our evolutionary mandate. Is to eat and to have sex with anyone who will have sex with us.
That's why we love donuts and fucking. Yeah.
So, man, there's my bio. That's the title of my bio: Donuts and Fucking, the Conan O'Brien story. Shockingly, no one has purchased Conan's book.
Banned in many countries.
It's banned in many countries. Apparently, the content is kind of interesting, but the title alone has turned everyone off.
Yeah.
Donuts and fucking. And you know what? Sometimes people don't even have to hear who wrote the book. They just go, there's a book out called Donuts and Fucking. Conan O'Brien wrote a book.
You said something very kind to me, and I don't know if you want me to say it on the air. Maybe you don't, and you can take it out. But it really meant a lot to me. You said, I never worry about you. And
that's true.
That was such a wonderful thing to hear. It took me aback. I was
really?
Yeah, I really loved hearing that.
Well, I meant it. And then I actually referenced in the beginning of the episode your career arc, but I first met you as a stand-up.
Right.
You're doing stand-up comedy, and you were so funny, and your material was so sharp and well-observed. And obviously, stand-ups, you to write your own material, you have to have the fortitude to get up there and deliver it. And so I met you in that guise. Then I saw you, as I said, in one of my favorite shows of all time, in Silicon Valley, and I thought, I love this guy. I love the show. I thought everyone was perfectly cast.
Yeah.
And that is a very hard thing to pull off. It's, in so many ways, the perfect show. And my son and I have really bonded over that show. We love that show and rewatch it a lot. And then you made The Big Sick. And I just you and your wife made it. And I was just seeing this guy just keeps leveling up, which I thought was very impressive. And then you've had this whole other arc.
Thank you.
So I don't worry about you.
Do you worry about Conan at all? And you can be honest.
No, I don't worry about Conan. You know what's
I'm dangerously insane.
Yeah, but because I don't care.
Well, that's another great way not. So you don't really, and also to be fair, you don't really worry about anyone.
Yeah, no, I worry about. I could count the people on my hands. On a good day, my mother. Brother, I really worry about. Emily. No, what's been inspiring about your career is you've done so many things too, and you've been so good at finding, at sort of evolving yourself, and doing these like long form interviews, which at the beginning, I watched The Simpsons, but it was your show on NBC that when I first started watching, and you were doing like comedy that I had never seen on TV before. I'd never seen that kind of comedy. It was like surreal and risky and bizarre, and it was awesome. And to see how since then all the stuff you've done now, sort of redefining yourself over and over, it's really, really inspiring, continuing to be very funny and insightful and relevant.
Oh, that's so nice. It is interesting that there was a quote I read a long time ago by, I can't remember who it was. It might have been like Eric Clapton or someone, but it was way back in the late 70s. And some band met him, or some famous musicians met him, and they're like, "Oh my God, Eric Clapton," and he just said to them, "What's your advice?" And he just said, "Keep moving, keep moving." And I it kind of rang a bell with me a little bit, which is I am no Eric Clapton in any reality, but I do believe it struck me that he wasn't sitting back and saying, yeah, I'm Eric Clapton. And what I've noticed over the years, and I see this a lot with musicians and comedians, is they're the ones that I tend to admire they never settle down and go, you know what? I did it. They just don't do it. And that's the yin and the yang of it. It's very, it's tricky, but they, the Martin Shorts, the Steve Martins, all these people that I really admire from a generation or two before mine, they're restless and they're constantly trying to find that next way that they can explore whatever it is they have, whatever their talent is. They can explore it and define it. And that intrigues me. That really fascinates me when people can do that.
Yeah, and to see Steve Martin and Martin Short at this point of their careers doing the best work of their careers, like I truly think they've never been better. And they make it look so effortless, which is part of the appeal, I think, of that show is, they make you feel safe. You're like, oh, I'm in the hands of pros. And the way Martin Short is sort of, doing the Martin Short thing, but in a way that's like works within that reality.
Right.
It's so good. The other side of that, though, is it's something I've been working on and I talked to Emily about a lot. She says, you don't ever take a moment to be like happy for anything you've done. She says, she calls it rest on your laurels. She's like, you should every now and then do that. But I think to a fault for me, I don't have it. Like, I just finished shooting Chippendales in July. It's the toughest shoot of my life. It was very, very exhausting, very, very satisfying and wonderful and magical. 5 months. And she was like, as soon as it's done, you're going to start freaking about what you're going to do next. And I was like, no, I'm so proud of this show and my work in it and everybody else's work in it that this time I won't have that. This time I won't think that this was the last job of my career and that now it's done. And then I took a week, I slept for a week, and then on Monday I was like, this is it. That's the end of my career. Nothing else is coming. What's next? So it does lead to anxiety. I mean, I've chosen a life, we all have, although this gives you you said something very kind to me, and I don't know if you want me to say it on the air, maybe you don't and you can take it out, but it really meant a lot to me. You said, I never worry about you. And
That's true.
That was such a wonderful thing to hear. It took me aback. I was
really?
Yeah, I really loved hearing that.
Well, I meant it. And then I actually referenced in the beginning of the episode your career arc, but I first met you as a stand-up.
Right.
You're doing stand-up comedy, and you were so funny, and your material was so sharp and well-observed. And obviously, stand-ups, you to write your own material, you have to have the fortitude to get up there and deliver it. And so I met you in that guise. Then I saw you, as I said, in one of my favorite shows of all time, in Silicon Valley. And I thought, I love this guy. I love the show. I thought everyone was perfectly cast.
Yeah.
And that is a very hard thing to pull off. It's, in so many ways, the perfect show. And my son and I have really bonded over that show. We love that show and rewatch it a lot. And then you made The Big Sick. And I just you and your wife made it. And I was just seeing like, oh, this guy just keeps leveling up, which I thought was very impressive. And then you've had this whole other arc.
Thank you.
So I don't worry about you.
Do you worry about Conan at all? And you can be honest.
No, I don't worry about Conan.
You
know what's
I'm dangerously insane.
Yeah, but because I don't care.
Are you any good at being in the moment? Are you any good at, do you ever try? Because I bring this up for a reason. I am able to really be in the moment when I'm doing this right now. And if I'm up on stage or doing any kind of comedic performance, I am 100% in the moment. And if something goes wrong, I'll follow that. I'm not thinking, I don't have any fear, but it's when that's over. I've tried meditation and I cannot do it. I cannot just sit still. I eat quickly. I mean, you've seen Sona. It's it's a disaster.
It's just terrifying.
You're like a wood chipper.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, blah, 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 and I eat quickly. And I
Shoveling.
even say beforehand, okay, I'm going to cut my meal in half. I'm going to take each bite slowly. I'm going to put my fork down in between bites. I say all that beforehand, and then they put the food down in front of me, and I, like a serial killer, black out.
Yeah.
And when I wake up, everyone's dead.
Oh my God.
I've eaten all
That's
of them.
not an
Or
eating
there's-
problem.
Yeah.
You're right. You know what? This is a good point, Matt. And I wish someone else had pointed this out to
The
me.
plate is still full of food.
I
Yeah.
haven't touched the food.
No.
But I've murdered and eaten everyone around me.
Yeah. And okay. Yeah.
This is a different problem I think I've wandered into.
Yeah, I don't think that'll hold up in court. It's a weird alibi.
I think it's,
Yeah, I
think it
really
will.
have a problem being in the present. I murder people at every dinner. I don't think those words mean what you think they mean. That is so interesting that you say that, because the more I talk to you, the more I see similarities in just the way we approach life and our careers. I have the same exact thing. When you first asked me, do you have trouble being in the moment? I'm like, I don't, between like action and cut. I really feel like I'm really there, listening to the other person, seeing the other person, responding to them. I'm not thinking about what I did a second ago or what I'm going to do a second ago. Same thing with stand-up, when I used to do a lot of stand-up, when I was on stage, I truly felt like I was really existing in that moment, And with acting, it took me a little while to get to that stage, but I do feel for the most part, I am there now. And that's what's exciting about like acting and stand-up for me is, as soon as it's done, you're like on this high because it feels like you jumped out of a plane and you were truly like there living in that moment. The rest of my life, I do have a problem with that. And I didn't realize it tied in with eating food fast. I eat food super fast, except dessert. I take tiny bites because I really love it a lot. But Emily's the same way. If we go out with another couple, it's embarrassing because our food is done. I'm like literally like in 4 minutes. Our entire food.
Can I tell you, one of the reasons I didn't recognize Ewan McGregor is his face was covered in your food. You were eating so quickly that food was just flying.
Yeah.
I just saw a beard with a lot of shredded beef on it and half chewed vegetables.
Right.
You cover everyone around you in
like,
shredded food.
Who's this guy with ravioli eyes?
And why isn't he wearing a kilt?
So yeah, I do meditate, especially when I'm working. I meditate every morning. It really, really helps me sort of become present.
Can you tell me what your technique is? Because I don't want to get too personal, but what I have tried and tried and tried, and I don't know how to do it.
Well,
my mind is, they say it's whatever the mind is like 1,000 monkeys. Mine all need Adderall. Each monkey needs Adderall. No, it's the opposite.
I've never heard that
Never
term.
heard
Is
that.
that
I haven't
maybe just
either.
your
Never heard that.
therapist said that?
This is the problem with your mind is you're making up these terms.
Do you know how everyone's mind is 1,000 crazy monkeys?
Yeah.
No, I don't know that.
You know how when you go to eat quickly, you black out and you wake up and everyone's dead?
Yeah.
So far, you know what I love? I'm an observational comic whose observations no one can relate to.
Do you literally think you have 1,000 monkeys inside your head?
I really do.
Oh, see, this is a problem.
At
Yeah,
least
yeah.
1,000.
You know, sometimes when you're out and you're buying a sort of a 1920s diving suit, the kind with the brass helmet,
Sure.
and you're eating custard. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you walk in, and then
I call
suddenly
it
there's a
Tuesday.
robot. Yeah, my observations are no one's relating to anything I'm saying. I apologize.
I think the issue with meditating for me that then I think I was able to solve was taking the pressure off of doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Even like a bad meditation session makes me feel better when it's done. I only do it for 10 minutes. I don't do it longer than that. It is hard to sit still for that long. But I just took the pressure off of trying to be good at it, and it really helps. You just kind of have to sit there quietly, and if your mind is going somewhere, just try and nudge it back to nothing. Try and feel your body. Try and feel the ground beneath your feet or the cushion under your butt. It really helps. It happens sometimes with acting. Like I'll be doing a scene and I'm like not feeling like it's going right. It happened on Chippendales, and I just was like, this is going to sound so lame. Wasn't feeling in the scene. And I was like, I'm going to take 10 seconds and just really touch this table. And as soon as I touched the table and really felt it, it all opened up. And suddenly I was like present in the scene again. So I think for me, the hardest thing is first realizing when I'm not in the moment, because that can be hard to know, like, oh, I'm like thinking about stuff outside of myself right now. I was such an awkward, nerdy, weird little kid, and I sort of knew it, and I sort of hated that about myself. I've always known that I was smart, and I always had like, okay, I'm not cool, I'm not good looking, I'm not good at sports, but I'm smart. So I was like, that's going to be the thing that's going to like get me. If I ever get anywhere, it's going to be that. So yeah, it was really like living a lot in the mind, imagining, thinking. That was sort of all I thought I could really do. And I was also like, I really poured myself into my studies. I studied a lot.
Me too.
Did you really?
Yes. Oh, I was a terrible grind. I mean,
yeah.
Early on, I was just, I have nothing left to offer, but what I can do is I'm going to use my brain and I'm going to excel in this area because I loved comedy as a kid.
Yeah.
And I loved making my friends laugh, but I made a conscious decision. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I've got a weird name and odd hair. That's never happening. I need to put that aside, buckle down, and get into a really good college. And so in a very unglamorous, nerdy way, I worked really hard on my studies, got into a really good school, and then immediately bumped into the humor magazine. It shot me right into this world, which is very hilarious. That my attempt to escape comedy and turn my back on it because it would never happen led me to this place, the Lampoon, that completely turned everything around.
And it gave you, I think, as a kid, I think that studying, what it gave me, it seems like it gave you, is like a really strong work ethic.
Yes.
You know, I studied all day, all the time. And I sort of do look back. I wasn't really funny until college. I come from a very funny family. My whole family is very funny. Extended family. Everybody's always making jokes. It's clearly like a value for us. Like it's important to all of us to be funny. It's not effortless. Everybody's like trying to get a laugh all the time. But I felt like I couldn't really hang with that until college because I didn't really feel like a person until college because I felt like I had kind of nothing to offer. So I didn't know who I was.
Yep.
And then in college, suddenly people were like, hey, you're funny. I'm like, oh, I now have an adjective I can use to describe myself. I felt like that was the first time I really felt like I had anything was being funny. And then it sort of became the entire fucking world for a very, very, very long time. All I cared about was comedy. And now I'm sort of, I still obviously care a lot about comedy, but trying to do other stuff has been also very exciting and satisfying.
How old were you when you...
I was 18.
18.
I came on my own. I went to college. It's interesting,
That's much later than I thought. What did you know about America when you came? What were you thinking? What were your preconceptions?
I've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah.
So, there's gremlins everywhere. Right. Sometimes one day will just repeat itself.
You thought Harrison Ford was president.
Yeah, Harrison
Did you
Ford.
run into any Terminators?
Yeah. I was like, I hope I don't. If I do, I hope it's later Arnold.
What a terrible vision that you had.
Yeah, don't get in a DeLorean unless you want your mom to hit on you. So I grew up, I understood all that about American culture. And
Did you see our commercials or no? You didn't see the commercials?
I didn't really see very much commercials. I had an aunt in Singapore who would record like cartoons off the TV. So I saw like foreign commercials, like Singapore commercials, which were a lot more like American commercials than Pakistani commercials. But I didn't. And I remember I first visited America when I was like 13 or 14. And it was an ad for KFC. And they were like ripping on McDonald's by name. Like they had like a clown who kind of looked like Ronald McDonald, but like fucked up looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can they do that? They could just make fun of another company.
I mean, I'm still wondering right now how they could do that.
Yeah.
You can't go after Ronald. You can go after McDonald's, but you can't You can't go after Ronald McDonald.
Wow, you're so angry about it.
Well, he's like a
It's
religious
okay.
figure, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, it's
What?
Santa Claus,
Yeah.
the Pope,
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
That's
Yeah.
when
With him.
McDonald's burned the colonel in effigy as
Yeah.
a retaliation. It became a huge war.
Yeah,
here.
it was like East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
got really, a lot of people died.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
They sent Burger
Violence.
King
yeah,
in to mediate.
yeah. Hamburglar became ham murderer. Yeah, it was. So I knew that about American culture, but I was gonna say, I loved movies and TV so much. I didn't really leave the house very much. Other kids played outside. I really watched movies and TV shows for like most of my life, and I played video games. So I feel very, very grateful that I get to work in this industry that I've loved my entire life. My dad
Yeah.
loved movies, and that's who. But someone like Emily, she understood that she was weird and different from everyone else, and she really leaned into it. So she was like a goth in high school.
Mhm.
In the 7th grade, she started dyeing her hair with Sharpie herself,
Oh my
and
God.
kids would make fun of her. She would like draw all over her clothes. So it's interesting to see that, both of us kind of felt like we didn't fit, and I tried to become invisible, and she was like, fuck you, I'm going to be the weirdest person in the world.
That's so fascinating. You said something that I completely connect to, which is you didn't know who you were, when you're
Yeah.
younger. And I remember very clearly just thinking, because I would look at my brothers and sisters and think that they all had, they were all defined people. And I remembered feeling like a Mr. Potato Head that they hadn't put any pieces on yet. Like they hadn't put the nose or the eyes on or the mouth
Oh
yet.
my God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and I remembered thinking...
Just a potato then.
yeah, I was just a plastic potato,
Yeah.
which is the worst kind. No nutrients.
Well, you are Irish.
Yeah, exactly. And so...
And mostly plastic.
Yeah. And there's nothing inside. And no one plays with me anymore.
Just a hollow plastic.
No one's wanted me in 30 years.
Aw.
No, come on. We're just having fun. But I remembered trying out, I know I'll be civic-minded guy, I'll, no, I mean,
What's
I'll
that
care
guy?
about causes. Was that what it was?
yeah, or,
Just
I'll be this guy, I'll be that guy. I mean,
permits.
I would try things, and I didn't know what my natural enthusiasms were, and I didn't think comedy counted,
yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I would try things on at times, and I remember telling my mother, one day, well, I'm going to go to law school. This is when I was like in 12 years old or something, and she went,
Yeah.
really? Because she was really proud, and I went, yes, I'm going to be a great lawyer. And then later on saying, I'll be an author. I would just declare these things that didn't have anything behind them.
Yeah.
And I do try to impart this to young people, very young people. I try to tell them it took me so long to figure things out. You have no idea sometimes how long it takes. And they live in this culture where they're constantly being shown images or hearing interviews with people, say in their 30s. I think the gap between 15 and 30 is far more than 15 years. I think it's just this massive, massive gap, because those are the years where you figure out who you are. And sometimes people really are still figuring it out.
Some people don't. And I think you have to figure out that you're always going to be figuring stuff out. You're always growing, changing. And I think finding some sort of way to feel comfortable inside yourself, and then knowing that who you are is going to change and the things you want is going to are going to change. I think that's key. I had this thing in high school where I left Pakistan and I came here, and I sort of lost touch with all my friends from high school, and then I kind of got back in touch with them in the pandemic, and we sort of started talking again. And I was like, first of all, I was like, oh, I stole all of your senses of humor. That's what I did.
Yeah.
They all talk exactly the way they talked then, and I was like, all right, I took all of that. This is something I say on your show that I learned from, my friend Tarek. And then one of them messaged me on the side and was like, why did you stop talking to us? Like, we love you. And at some point, you just stopped responding to us. And I realized that I thought in high school that I was this like charity case because I felt I had nothing to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were just being nice to me. That's why they wanted to hang out with me. And I told him that. And he's like, that's crazy. We all really liked you.
Oh.
And I just at that age could not imagine anybody liking me because I didn't think that there was anything to like. And so, I don't know what the point of that is, but it's being comfortable with myself and liking who I am. It took a long time.
You know what fascinated me about you is that I can a bit relate. I got into it all a little late. You were not someone who was aggressively doing improv and trying to act when you were a kid, right?
No, it wasn't really in my atmosphere at all. There was no talk of like, do you want to go to like a theater camp? It just wasn't, nobody was doing that where I lived.
That's for me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just wasn't a thing. And I would always look at like, I'm dating myself, like a teen beat or a bop, whatever that bop, was it bop?
Yeah.
Couldn't have just been bop.
Dynamite and Tiger Beat.
Tiger Beat,
yeah.
Bop. There was a bop.
There was
something
a
bop.
bop.
I think that there was
But like
a bop,
those magazines, and it just looked so far away. And like, oh, you have to like live in California, and that's just like a different planet. I just didn't even think about it. But I think deep down, I always dreamed about it. But I thought, doesn't everybody? I don't know.
Exactly.
It just wasn't something
I relate 1,000% to what you're saying, which is I'm thinking about this and I'm doing some shtick in the mirror by myself.
Were you reading Tiger Beat as well?
I was reading.
He was reading Bop.
I was writing letters to Scott Baio. Dear Scott Baio.
I had such a Chachi crush.
Didn't we all? But I still write them. But I just, it wasn't in my world.
Yeah.
And I think what the internet has done is kind of made it look like, and this is true, it's very democratic. So you can be in the tiniest little spot in Kansas and you can do something funny and it can get a lot of positive feedback. And I think that's terrific. Before that, there were people like me, long before you, when I was a kid, doing shtick in front of the mirror and takes and absorbing stuff on television and in movies that I saw, doing it in front of the mirror, but then thinking, yes, this is what all sad little boys do.
But
and
then
then
I got to go to soccer practice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to.
Or I don't know.
Yeah, no soccer for me.
Art class?
My paleontology club. Hello, fellows. Anyone? But yeah, there was nothing, you thought, so I fully in high school and then into college thought, that's not happening.
I mean, I did like little, I was like a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz,
right,
in the back.
Right.
Just because my friends were doing it, but it wasn't,
But it's not like you could put that on a resume. So
I tried.
Number one,
when
munchkin.
I first came to LA and you needed a resume, I'm like, well, maybe I should write this on here.
So you did, another thing we have in common is I graduate college and I come out to LA to get started in show business, and I'm lucky enough to get a job writing on a show. I immediately tried to get into the Groundlings, into an acting class, and that's where I met the world of people, improvisers.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1985, I would tell people, I want to do improv, and most people didn't know what I was talking about.
I wouldn't have, I didn't even know what it was when I came out here. Someone was like, you got to go to the Groundlings. I think you'd like that. And I'd never seen improv before. And then I remember my first show, Jennifer Coolidge was in it and Mike Hitchcock, and they did improv. And I was like, oh, I think I want to do that. I want to try that. And then I just like signed up, but I knew sketch obviously from SNL, but improv, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. And to me, it was a revelation because the only thing that I had kind of heard about was stand-up.
Right.
And I remembered watching stand-ups and really admiring them, but thinking, that's not really what I want to do. And maybe I could figure out a way to do it in some way, but I don't want to be the only one talking. And
Yes.
I want there to be, and I want to be able to play these different realities. And I have that kind of brain. And then finding out, no, there's a whole thing called improv where you do that. And if your mind works that way, it actually is the perfect thing to do.
Yeah.
And so that's where I met Lisa Kudrow. That's where I met these just so many incredibly talented people. And I thought, okay, this is proof to me. I loved getting up on that stage. It's a really small stage.
Yeah.
It's an equity waiver theater, 99 seat, but it's where, I mean, as I said, Phil Hartman came from there. Paul Rubens. I mean, the list of people. Will Ferrell. He left the Groundlings and was never heard from again. But I mean, the list is, I can't even begin to list it. It's insane how many people.
It changed. That place changed my life for sure.
Yeah. So you're up there, you're doing the Groundlings, and are you working a regular day job while you're doing that? What are you doing?
Had many a day job. My favorite was I worked in a floral design studio. I did like floral arrangements. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I was a server. I worked at Universal Studios in the executive dining room.
Oh wow! I used to work there and eat in that. Well, not the executive one.
Yeah, the one with the nicer one where the executive.
I couldn't get in that place.
But it's funny because I think see people and I'm like, hey, I waited on you.
That's so funny. So I had this conversation the other day where I think I do it just because this is how my mom taught me to be, and which is I really try to be nice to anyone who's serving me, but also way in the back of my mind is they will be in control of show business in 3 years. And you know what I mean? They're just, and so many people have later come up to me and said, when I was, Jennifer Garner waited on me.
Oh, how cool.
When she was, and this is years after she became a star. She just had a terrible gambling addiction. And no, people were like, Jennifer Garner. No, there was a place where you could get brunch on the Upper West Side, and I was doing the late night show, and she said I came in once, and she said I was nice and everything, but then I then started to read the paper, and it's like, no, we really need that table. And she remembered this years later, and I was so embarrassed. Like, you never know who's going to be there. I want to talk about the latest project because I've watched the first episode of Palm Royale. Yeah. And I was watching it with David Hopping, who's the assistant who filled in for Sona, has done a brilliant job. Really took over. I did okay too. No.
I trained him.
The point here is not about you, Sona. The point is, saw the first show, an insane cast. Absolutely brilliant cast.
Yes.
I mean, it's madness. You've got Laura Dern, Allison Janney, Carol Burnett, Ricky Martin, who's great.
Oh my gosh, they're all
And the first thing that struck me is this thing. You're fantastic as always, and it's like of course. But what's amazing is the look of it too. It takes place in 1969.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did, but it's got this saturated retro color to it that is fantastic. I mean, I haven't seen a show look like that. It's like almost like a confection.
Yeah. And our production designer, John Carlos, was just like, his attention to detail. He would there would be a fish tank, and he would specifically pick the color of the fish to go in the fish tank to match the room, like everything. And he worked with Alex Freeberg, our costume designer. So
the costumes are
incredible, but they work together as far as what kind of room they were. I mean, everyone does that, but really down to patterns and details and what kind of chair they're sitting on. I mean, it was unlike I've never seen anything like that.
I think it's why it works is that you have the performers are all so good that they can overcome how stunning it is to look at. Meaning, I think a lesser performers would get lost in. I mean, I was watching it and I was noticing that there's a scene where Allison Janney is talking, and her sunglasses, which are so vintage 1969 and so big, and you would love it, Matt, because it's all this very cool, period stuff. Yeah. And her glasses are very loud, but beautifully match her insane 1969 outfit.
Yeah.
And then it all blends in with all this color that's happening in the background. And I noticed myself thinking, every now and then when something's just produced so well,
Yeah.
I think, man, these people know what they're doing.
They really do.
I mean, because I always came from, like I said, I always came from even the lesser child of an SNL, which was, let's crank out one of these a night. And so put a bear head on him from the bear head room.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was we didn't light things. I mean, we did the best we could, but it was vaudeville every night.
Yeah.
And so when I'm always blown away when I watch things. I've never been in the world of them using a light meter to measure exactly how my face is going to look the best, because no one gives a shit.
There's so many people, like props, just looking around any of the sets and just seeing all the little things and why that's part of this person's character. I don't even think the camera even sees this stuff. But every day we would just walk onto set, and then the actors, of course, would come and you'd see what they were wearing, and it was like, 5 minutes of just talking about that.
It would be hard not to steal some of those outfits. Like there are Sona. Oh, this from the admitted shoplifter.
I didn't steal anything. I don't steal. I asked.
How come you can't say that as yourself? You were doing a character.
Well, because
I've never committed larceny. Well, just say it as
I
yourself.
shoplifted when I was a kid, but I would never steal as an adult. Phrase it that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the episodes. It
and
just
like
looks
Mindy
great.
Cohn is in it, and Julia Duffy, who is hilarious. Josh Lucas, Leslie Bibb. Yeah, we got very lucky.
And you seem to be having. I have a hard time believing you wouldn't have fun, even though you get nervous. This just looks like you would have a really good time.
We had the best time. Yeah. Yeah. That cast, it was just every day. I mean, it was a long shoot because it's 10 episodes. They're an hour each. So it was like 6.5 months, I think, shooting.
Right.
But yeah, it was great.
And not a bad location to be shooting in.
Oh, yeah. Good old LA. It was amazing. To be able to go home after work was a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the worst location you've been in? Does it come to mind?
The worst? Oh, that's tough. I've kind of liked everywhere I've gone.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would think I've always wanted to do, I think Adam Sandler's a genius because he's made 2/3 of his movies in his favorite beach in Maui.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It can be the story of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's Lincoln I might go to Washington and be president, but first I got to get this coconut open.
So smart.
He knows what he's doing. When you left SNL, it was kind of, I don't know, it was like everybody took a moment. It was such a nice send-off, but I think your plan was to do 7 years really, really superbly and then get out on a high note. And because you did that, you had this glorious send-off.
Colin Jost wrote that and didn't even think it was going to make it. We were rushing. We didn't know for sure. And it was, it's a moment I'll never forget. It took me, I think, a year maybe to watch it.
I understand that.
Yeah, it was very hard. But it was the most beautiful way to go. I mean, it meant so much to me that we did it.
But also all those stars participating.
I know.
Mick
Jagger was there. It was crazy.
Yeah, Mick Jagger sang you off with Ruby Tuesday.
And Dave Grohl, who was the musical guest on my very first show.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
Steve Martin, John Hamm.
And Arcade Fire was, right? Arcade Fire.
I didn't memorize it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
In the notes, yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of, I understand that it's bittersweet to leave that experience, but if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it.
It was hard. I couldn't watch the show for a while after I left. Because it's such an adjustment, as you know, when you're there. It's not just like this job you left. It's the building that you spend 20 hours a day in. You've had the best experiences. You've laughed, you've cried. It's your family. And you're just there, just physically, like many hours of the day. And saying goodbye to Lauren was really hard. It's your life.
I think,
and it's your life.
I think because I did a couple seasons at SNL, and then I leave and I go to The Simpsons. Then I come back for late night and do that for 16 years. So if you add it up, it was 20 years in that building.
Yeah.
And then I'm out here in LA for a while. And then I was like 2 years or something. Some time passed, not too long, and I was going to go on Howard Stern, and I came back to New York, and I walked up by Rockefeller Center, and I was hit by every emotion you can have. And I'm very Irish and very proud of the fact that I don't experience emotions or acknowledge them, or I can sublimate them so much that I only realize later on that it came out of my sweat or something. Yeah. You know? You smell sad. But I passed that building and I had every feeling that I had of ecstasy, sadness, terror, love. Everything came back and it was almost too powerful. And then I went right in to talk to Howard Stern, and he's chatting with me, and he was like my therapist, and that's what we talked about.
Also, because knowing that it hasn't changed. There's something else about leaving a job and maybe those people aren't there anymore, or like that building's gone, but everything is the same. And you go back now, it's like, it's the same doors, it's the same paint, it's the same. And the crew is mostly the same. So I think knowing that it's still existing is like, I don't know, pulls on you a little more because you're like, I'm not there.
Right. And there's part of, I can't speak for you, but there's part of me, a tyrannical tyrant in my brain that's thinking, it all should have stopped when I left. They should have taken the building down. What's the point of going on? No, I understand that's very sad, but Egyptian pharaohs had the same idea. Okay. And, but I remembered, when I took over the late night show for Letterman in his first year, one night said to Paul, can you believe they're over there doing our show? Meaning myself and Andy and they're doing our show, Paul. And I remembered at the time thinking, that was his apartment. Yeah. And now I'm in it and he still feels like it's his apartment and these new kids are in there breaking stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how it can feel sometimes a little bit, is just you make it so much your own, and then you have to leave. And then of course other people move in and do things differently, but brilliantly, and that's how it is. Just keep moving.
Keep moving, people.
That's your new character.
Yeah, thanks.
Keep moving.
Keep moving, people.
With Porsche.
Now that's better.
That's actually a great little.
Keep moving with Porsche. I won't share.
Well, we could do the commercials together.
Okay. But would we split the money? What would the split be?
I would assume 50-50, but are you having other thoughts?
Yeah, Matt and I are here too.
No, you're not really here.
Oh.
No, we are here.
You're not here?
No, I don't see you. This eye, I have glaucoma in my right eye, so I don't have peripheral vision.
Works fine.
But I see you perfectly. I'm going to say you've had more experience in film.
Talking.
You're arguably the bigger deal, so I would accept a 70-30 with you getting the 70. I mean, you're a big deal.
I think you're a big deal. I'll drive.
SNL obviously was like it must have been so clear to you that that's where you belonged.
I mean,
even if it wasn't clear immediately to SNL, it must have been clear to you.
For me, it was where I wanted to be, and where I love the puzzles you have to put together at that show. You know, like when it's that meeting between dress and air and you have to like take off a minute of your sketch. I love that, like trying to figure things out and what jokes can go. And I don't know, I love that sort of like, I don't know, how my brain works. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And just like the writers there, when I was there, and the cast, I was so lucky. And I don't know, it just didn't feel like work in a way. Mm-hmm. But I knew when I got there, I was like, I'm going to be here for 7 years. I didn't want to go longer than that. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like when you get there, you kind of feel like you're walking into someone else's living room. Like everyone else knows each other so well.
Yes. It's
And I
high
was
school.
like-
It's a scary high school.
It is.
And I'm not putting it down.
No.
People are, because I sometimes, when I talk about SNL, sometimes people misinterpret it and say it was frightening, terrifying in some ways. And also, I kind of wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, it's not like anyone was mean. Everyone was so nice, but it's like you're going to a new school and everyone's been there forever. As soon as I got there, I was like, the moment I feel totally comfortable here is when I have to go. Because I feel there's something about the energy of that place and what you need to produce and how you need to like always be, I don't know, people watching on the Sunday that you're off. I don't know. I just felt like there's something about that place where you just need to be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Well, there's that old analogy that I think is so perfectly true, which is the oyster. You need a little bit of sand in the oyster to make the pearl. You need the irritant. And I just think many times in life, I've been uncomfortable and nervous. And something really good came out of it.
And that's when you're really proud of yourself and you're like, wow, I did that. And thank God it's over.
Well,
Not SNL, though. That was very hard for me to leave. But
it's ridiculous to even try to go through all the characters. But do you have a favorite? I mean, I know you've mentioned before, but is there someone who really speaks to you? I mean, there's so many. I mean, the first time I saw Denise, with the prosthetic forehead and doll hands. I told you I love Gilly, but her dance and Penelope and Jesus Christ.
I feel like my favorite one, honestly, was someone I did on Update. Not even a ton of times, but her name was Aunt Linda.
Yes, Aunt Linda.
She was...
the eye rolling alone.
Yes, because she was based on someone that was on a plane. And remember back in the day, they would show, there'd be one screen and they'd be like, the movie's starting, and then you'd have to put your head, it would just start at that time.
You didn't get your own personal one.
You didn't get your own one. And it was The Matrix. And she was so confused.
The Matrix. Matrix on a plane.
She was just like, what? She's like, why is he flying? She was like, she was so loud. And I was like listening to her and writing down things she was saying. And she's like, now they're flying. Like she was so upset and confused. And it just made me laugh. And so I did that at the Groundlings, which also made it feel better when I got it on SNL. And we tried it the way that I wrote it at the Groundlings, but it didn't work in a scene because
it was so smart.
It just didn't work because Lauren was like, I think people would be walking away from you constantly. It didn't work.
Putting her at the update desk, and her job. My favorite thing. It's sort of akin a bit to, I'm a wealthy society woman, and I want someone to set up my home beautifully for the big party. I've hired the Three Stooges. And three idiots who have no qualifications show up with saws and hammers and smash the whole house. What I love is they hired you to review films.
Yes.
And it's perfect because you have nothing but disdain. You don't seem to understand the movies.
No.
You just want to make a wisecrack, and it's just absolutely hilarious. Also, it looked like you kind of had to... you have all the different takes that you would do, the sarcastic takes that you would do.
And I think the ones that you can have a little more fun with, and it is kind of different every time, are always more fun, I think, than the ones that are like very rigid in how they react to stuff. I don't know.
Well, it's not, if your character has one, I remember at the Groundlings, there was just this pressure. When I was there, you could see every student thought they had to have a catchphrase.
Oh, really?
Well, that was just a phase, and I think it was all because John Lovitz had blown up as the liar on SNL. That's the ticket, and having a catchphrase, and Dana then blew up as Church Lady. And of course, there was a lot more of those characters, but their catchphrases were really huge. Really, that special.
That's true, yeah.
And so I just remember characters coming in, trying out scenes, and everybody was like, yeah, not a flapjack I'd buy. And,
looking right out to the audience.
Right out to the audience. And then they'd say it like two more times. And I just, Lisa Kudrow used to get mad at me because she said, you sit there at rehearsal and people are trying this stuff out and you have your head in your hands.
Oh, God.
And she said, they can fucking see you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. That's a flapjack I could buy.
Was that a real one?
No.
Oh.
I know there was
So
someone.
you can use it if you want.
I know. I was like,
So you're writing it down. People had tics like they,
Right.
slapped their thigh on. Slap your thigh, cough twice. And so it just looked like a Tourette's convention for a while there. But one thing that I liked so much about the work that you did at SNL, and then again, you brought that to Bridesmaids, is you can go so quiet. You can be so small, and it's perfect. I think it's one of the reasons I get drawn in. You're not trying to blow me off the roof with your comedy a lot of times, and you can go big, but you also can go very small. And then, and then that was one of the things I thought that made Bridesmaids so special was how quiet things could be. At times there are big set piece scenes and there are scenes where you can go big, but how quiet your disappointment could be, your confusion.
oh, thanks.
And the comedy, doing that kind of comedy, it's like this little porcelain comedy that's beautiful. I don't know. That's just great.
Wow, thank you for saying that.
Well,
Thank you.
I don't know that it means anything. I've never really been in a movie, so.
It does. It means a lot.
Very poetic, little porcelain
I
comedy.
know.
Well, it is. I just think that many people can come from a situation like the Groundlings or SNL and think that you win when you go really big all the time. I think it can almost instruct you to have and look, there are plenty of times on late night where you're going in every day and doing an hour where you think going big is always the answer. And then sheer amount of time, you start to see that sometimes going very small is such a relief and such a contrast.
Yeah.
That it's just like music. It's just playing on a different part of the instrument. But I don't know. I just loved it as a fan of yours that you're able to do that.
Thanks.
And that's all the time we have.
Oh, okay.
There's nowhere to go after that.
That's such, I don't know what to say. Thanks.
Well, I want to say one thing that was about improv.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm wondering if you agree with this. There's so many people who say to me, improv is such a scary thing. And I've just lied right now because I have done some small stuff in movies. And I prefer improv because I like, people think, oh my God, it's so terrifying when you have to make it up. And I have this thought in the back of my head. For example, like 2 years ago, or a season and a half ago or something, Will Arnett called me up and he said he had this show called Murderville and it's all improvised. And I love Will.
Me too.
And I wanted to do it. There's no preparation. You just show up on the day.
Well, that's the thing. There's no...
Exactly.
You can't say the line wrong.
Exactly.
And sometimes you can get it kind of depends on what it is. But like when I'm watching improv, I get more nervous because I'm like, what are they going to say?
Right.
Or what would I say? Or, oh God. But
and
when you're,
fear for the person.
But when you're doing it, exactly. But when you're doing it, you're like, oh, well, I'm just responding. I'm just, as long as I know who the character is, I'm just kind of talking.
Yeah. There's something very, I don't know, just liberating about it. I love when they
and
tell
you don't
me
have to like prepare. It's just, you just go.
That's the best part.
There's no memorizing.
I was curious, did you do Target Lady at Groundlings or was that something that you came up with?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Those I think were the only two that I did there that got on the show.
Did you ever get any kind of money from Target?
No, Conan.
I've been working on a character called Exxon Mobil guy.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I know, you got to think it's like United Airlines. Like, what do we use?
Look to me. I'm Lamborghini guy. Hey, I'm Lamborghini guy. Sona, has there been any call from the Lamborghini people?
Yes, cease and desist.
Hey, I'm Lamborghini. Hey, I'm a Porsche man.
What?
It's a German car. Why are you Italian? I don't know. I didn't think about it.
That's the hook.
Hey, baby, I'm Sam Rolex.
What?
Yeah.
Sam. His name is Sam Rolex?
I wear a Rolex. These are characters I'm just thinking
That you've been working on for a long time.
Yes, and I thought I was doing something wrong. Clearly, you hit it with Target Lady, and I'm Bill Ozempic, you know. Well,
Bill, Sam.
Oh, you don't think I'm good at coming up with good, funny first names? I think Sam's
It's funny. It's funny.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it's Sam.
I regret working with you on this whole thing. I really thought we would just click together and make an amazing commercial that would make me a lot of money. Thank you. I bet you didn't think you'd be apologizing when you came here to talk to me. Here, Kristen Wiig apologized to Conan for not earning him more money.
Hi, my name is Kristen Wiig, and I feel warm about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Okay, Kristen, I think that's just the temperature in the room. I honestly think it is a very elevated room temperature.
It's a nice temperature, but I feel warm being here.
I am so happy that you're here.
Thanks.
Because I remember when you got cast on SNL and absolutely adoring you and thinking like, I think this is like the funniest person I've seen.
Yeah.
No.
And I say that this will not air.
Period.
Period. We're going to find our way to block it to all the other SNL people I've talked to, so they never hear that. You're just so insanely funny, and I met you. We had you on the show, and and just one time, and then I moved on to other things. And we didn't get to really connect again. And so, if nothing else, when I found out that you were going to come in today, I thought, this is my chance to tell you just how blown away I am by you.
Thank you.
As a performer, singer, songwriter, dancer. I'm just making up things you don't probably do.
Well, I do those things.
You're a dancer? Really? Good dancer?
I mean, no, I used to, I've danced.
Yes. You do one, well, actually, you do a character, Gilly, and Gilly has an intro number and does a dance to it. And I love good physical comedy, and it's one of my favorite things.
Thanks.
When you break into, first of all, I think all characters everywhere. I was talking about this with Robert Smigel the other day, and we worked together at SNL, and we were talking about, I like him fine. But we were talking about a sketch that we wrote for Tom Hanks called Mr. Short-Term Memory, and how we insisted, this is like 1988, that it has to have a theme song. And I remember Lauren was like, no, it doesn't need the sketches don't have theme song openings. And we said, no, it has to. And we had a whole animated opening where Tom Hanks' character gets hit by a pear sitting under a pear tree.
Wait, it was animated?
It was like, yeah, he's like sitting under, it's Mr. Short-Term Memory. Yeah. He never should have sat under that pear tree. Now he has no memory, but he'll never know. And you'll love him, whatever. He'll frustrate you so, because he's Mr. Short-Term. Anyway, we wrote this whole theme song, and I always thought, I think it should be a law that all sketch characters have a ridiculous theme song that wastes time.
It's a good way to get rid of the nerves, I gotta say.
Well, that's a great...
Because you're like dancing and shaking, and then you're like, okay, I don't know. Because it's obviously a very nerve-wracking job.
Yeah, it is a nerve-wracking job. You wouldn't know it looking at your performances, but I remember you doing the Gilly dance, and the dance incorporates maybe 9 different very distinct moves that probably aren't supposed to all go together.
Probably not.
So funny.
Thank you.
It's so funny.
That means a lot coming from you, Conan.
I appreciate that. But I was your body of work on SNL alone, just not even getting into your other tremendous work, is crazy. You're so prolific. And then to hear you say, well, it gets out the nerves. And I think it is nice for people listening, and probably revelatory that they hear, Kristen Wiig has nerves?
Oh my God, yes. I think I would be worried about myself if I didn't, especially with SNL, because it's live. You feel like you want to throw up before every show. I always say the good thing is, because you have dress rehearsal, So you kind of know what sort of works, but you know, there could be things that work in dress, and then you're like waiting for some sort of giggle, and then it's silent during air. That happens all the time.
A false positive.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
Is well, actually, in medicine, it's a very good thing sometimes. You're not dying. So sometimes it works out, but a false positive in comedy, and what would happen sometimes, it's rare, but something can really do well at dress. Usually doesn't happen, but it's a different crowd. And then what happens is they do the air show, and the air show, sometimes that's when all the executives got their friends in. Maybe, Lorne has some pals there. Just a lot of people are coming in, and so they're a different crowd, maybe a little more entitled. Maybe they've seen the show a bunch.
It's just such a different... I mean, I remember Charles Barkley was hosting, and I wrote a sketch with Jillian Bell, and it was for the writer's room. It got the best reaction I've ever had in the history of the time that I was there. I mean, like, people were clapping. We're like, oh, this is looking like a really great sketch. And when I tell you, when we went to dress, and when like the first joke comes out and like that's the sketch. So if they're not going to laugh at that, you've got about, it feels like 18 minutes of like silence. It was so silent. And I was just looking at other people in the sketch, like Andy and Bill, they're like looking at me laughing, like, this is going so... It was just absolutely silent. I couldn't even predict that was going to happen. But it's good also because then it kind of like keeps you on your toes. You don't expect certain things. But the way that it bombed was just for the books.
I wrote a sketch, same thing, for Phil Hartman. This is before you were born, but I wrote a sketch for Phil Hartman way back in the day, and it was an idea I liked, where he played this character, Mace, who was really tough and talked really fast, and he was Mace, and he had done it at the Groundlings, and it was this, you listen to me and you listen to me good, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna crush your skull, and it was this great character, and I thought, oh, this is terrific. He gets put, whoever the host was, and I don't remember, but the male host gets put in a prison cell with him, and the male host is, whoever it was, has Mace as his cellmate. And Mace comes on, is so tough and hard, and you're not gonna make it, buddy boy. And listen to me, I'm the king of this. So, and then, the way in those cells, there's just an exposed toilet. It comes time, they're both there for a while, and then it's clear that Mace has to use the toilet, but he's embarrassed about using it in front of the other guy in this very shy human way. And he's like putting little pieces of toilet paper down. He's trying to do it when the other guy's back is turned. And whenever the guy turns back, he goes like, you keep looking the other way, buddy boy. And it was just all about this very common...
so funny to me.
No, and so we did this thing, we read it at read-through. And like tile was coming off the ceiling. People were laughing so hard. And it's over, and the applause and people coming up, and, Lorne actually making eye contact, and I'll give you a gold coin, and you're just feeling amazing. And then dress rehearsal, and it starts. And then there's the first thing, which is the whole sketch, where you realize that Mace wants to use the toilet, the toughest guy in the world, but he's ashamed in front of this other guy and is trying to get him to turn his back by using different tricks and go to the back. And silence. And I remember I had called everybody. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have a sketch tonight. Oh, of course I did. Of course I did, Kristen. Because I'm a writer. And I'm like, tune in, because you all thought I didn't have it. Well, you're going to see a sketch tonight with Phil Hartman called
watch this.
Watch this. And then just absolute silence. And then that thing where they say the last line, well, that's the way it goes. Long pause. Then the band. Doom, 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 doom. And no applause. And then you don't even have to go in to the room. It's never going to make air. And just, you want to do an autopsy afterwards and find out. Like, what happened?
Why did it work there and not, maybe there's something about seeing it as opposed to just reading it? I also, still don't know.
As you know, I just gave it up at a certain point and said, there's magic to this. Sometimes the magic is there. Yeah. Sometimes it's not. I give up. I can't explain it. There's no reason.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why a little bit of the nerves too, because you don't know what the audience is, if they're in a good mood or if
But
your
also,
thing's
it's
gonna work.
interesting to me, like people often see me backstage when I'm going to do something and I'm doing a lot of stretching and I'm kind of getting very focused. And they are surprised because they've said, like, you've done 4,000 hours. You must have no nerves. And I've often said, I don't care who you are or what your track record is. You are always potentially 10 seconds away from the worst humiliation of your life.
Of course. And I almost feel like the more you've done it, then, I don't know, you're kind of like, well, I'm due for something.
I haven't seen you in a little while, and I really do enjoy my time. We trade texts fairly often, but I really treasure when I see you because, as I say, it's an old friendship, and I think we have a certain spark that excites America.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Oh, I thought there would be more, but okay. Yeah, we do. I agree with you. We have a close bond, and we tease each other a lot. But I think we have a really close friendship. And
Why'd you cover your mouth when you said that?
I scratched my upper lip.
Hell, no one does that.
You're so defensive and so insecure about everything. And I don't think anybody will argue that point with me.
I am now about the nipple thing. I'm never wearing those shirts again.
Did you ever know anybody that had a third nipple?
No, I saw it once in a movie. It's a James Bond movie.
Man with the golden gun.
Yeah.
The golden nipple, did you say? The extra golden nipple.
What's the name of the guy? Scaramanga?
Scaramanga,
yeah.
Scaramanga.
As played by
Christopher
Lee. Yeah.
I worked with someone once who had a tail, believe it or not.
What?
I'm not kidding around, a tail.
That's not true.
I swear to you. I mean,
when you say a tail,
want.
what do you mean? You mean they had
it's like
the coccyx, the bone, the tailbone was extended?
It was like a Doberman Pinscher tail.
What?
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Little
It's like cut off.
I don't believe that's
not
true.
even cut off.
nubbin?
It kind of looked like that.
nubbin.
Oh, great. Well, that'll help on a podcast. Wait.
Oh.
And this is so you don't get it wrong. That's the butt. It's more like that.
What are you doing? What are you talking about? You did not. You did not.
It's a tail.
That's first of all,
Well, yeah, you're
terrible
right.
drawing from actually a very talented artist. That's the worst thing you've ever drawn.
My book is out now called I Exaggerate, My Brushes with Fame.
Yes.
A lot of caricature paintings that I do. None of you in there.
I know.
You're a friend. You're a friend.
I guess what? All of them and I think I'm readily caricatured with my hair, my jawline. There's so many things to have fun with. And you didn't do one of me.
I am so done with this topic right now.
Okay.
No, come on. Let's just talk. Can we talk as two adults for a change?
Let's do that.
Can you?
Let's do that.
Sona, you stay out of this.
I don't even know why she's in here.
I don't know why you need a backup like Sona. I come in here with nobody, and you've got all these people like your posse.
This is my whack pack right here. This is my whack pack.
So I almost saw you at Sundance the other day.
Yeah, I was at Sundance helping to promote a film that I
what's it called?
appear in. It's called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. It's written
What's
and directed.
What's the movie called?
Incredible. It stars the beautiful and very talented Rose Byrne, and it was a very fun experience. And then you texted me that you were there, but I was leaving town after I got your text.
You were there for only like a couple hours, right?
Seriously, yeah, I was. Yeah.
Jeez, you had the car running.
I'm very busy right now. I've got a lot of irons in the fire. A lot of pots of stew cooking at the same time.
Do you have other projects going besides this podcast?
Yes, I'm hosting the Oscars.
By the way, congratulations. I think I already texted you about that.
Yeah, you said you said, this is a quote, it will either go well or it will go badly. Both are distinct possibilities. That's a quote. That's a quote.
But it is true.
It's true. It is absolutely true. And I read that aloud. I was laughing so hard because when you're very talented at this, you get on the knife's edge of absolute truth. So I'm talking to you and you were saying, how's it going? I'm working on this Oscars thing, but the mood in this town keeps changing. There's a lot happening. I'm worried about how it's going to go. And you wrote back, most people would say, oh, you'll be fine. You're a funny guy. You'll figure it out. You wrote back, it will go well or it will go badly, period. Both are distinct possibilities.
And true.
Yeah. And true. It was very true.
Because I know what you think, how you think it's going to go. Because I know you so well.
Oh, yeah? And how's that?
You tell me.
No.
It's going to go. You think it's going to go horrible?
No, I don't think it's going to go. I think
Really?
it's going to go horribly.
Oh, horribly.
Because I actually
you're right.
finished school.
That's right.
Kevin, I love you. I really do. But I wish
You're
you were
horrible.
educated. I
You
wish you
are
were
horrible.
No, I'm horribly.
You're horribly.
I
So thanks for asking me. The movie I'm executive producing at Sundance.
yeah. Tell me about
with a
that. What's it
bunch of
called?
other
What's it
people.
called?
It's called Come See Me in the Good Light.
Ah.
It's a story, Conan, about these two lovers,
Mhm.
it's poets.
Yeah.
And
and
one
you,
of them is
you're
may I
executive producer.
finish? Okay, go ahead, say what you're saying, then I'll continue.
I just love that you're executive producing something about real emotions and passion. It's just funny. It's like
How do you know it's real
if a
emotions? You
laser.
didn't let me finish.
It's like if it's a laser printer wrote a love poem. I'm sorry. You don't have a sincere phone in your body, and you're executive producing a love story. I can't wait to see it. Bleep, bleep, bloop, bloop.
Oh, what's the name of your film, by the way?
If I had legs, I'd kick you.
Oh, yeah, that's right up your alley. That is so you right there. Yeah.
Anyway, tell us about Go. I'll be good. I promise.
What's the name of the movie, the doc?
It's called There Was a Time and She Was
See?
There.
Okay, I'm going to tell it to you again. Try to listen this
Okay.
time. Pay attention.
Okay. What is the name of your movie?
It's called Come See Me in the Good Light.
Come See Me in the Good Light.
Right.
Beautiful.
Are you writing this down?
Yep. Come See Me in the Good Light.
It's a love story about these two poets, and one of them is diagnosed with an incurable illness.
Okay.
And it's pretty much the exploration of their life, their love, their mortality, and life's moments. And once you see it, it'll kind of change your life.
Okay. That's
Maybe not your life, because you don't have one bone of love or
That's not true.
mortality.
That's not true. That's
or
not
life
true.
moments. in
That's not
you.
true. I'm excited for this project, and I'm going
Thank
to
you.
repeat the title. Come See Me in the Good Light.
That's right. It's
and-
about Andrea Gibson, the poet,
I figured.
and her lover,
And-
Megan Fowley.
Yeah, of
and it's
course.
directed by Ryan White.
Okay,
Produced by Jessica Hargrave. And
But-
Tig Notaro.
Oh, I love Tig Notaro.
See, I knew that when you
You
finally
brought up
paid
finally
attention.
someone I really love Tig. Let me ask you a question.
But that's why I'm here.
But
I'm here to let you ask me questions.
As executive producer, what did you do with this powerful and it sounds like a very powerful, tragic love story? What did you
It's
do?
not
as
tragic. It's uplifting.
Oh,
It's,
okay. You're right. They probably gave you a note. Don't say tragic.
It's no notes.
Yeah.
No notes. I'm the one giving out the notes.
Oh, so but what do you do as executive producer?
Well, I invest in it. I support it. I come on podcasts.
This is
and
your
I hope that I
you
have
put
an
your money into
interviewer
it.
that is open-minded and listens. Yeah, I did put my money into it along with my wife, Susan
Love your wife.
Yeagley.
Susan's great.
Is that
You know what I'm
about-
gonna say? I'm looking at 2 pages.
Is that anything to do with a podcast, or that your
2
shopping
pages.
list?
It says Kevin Nealon, 2025 podcast research. There is not one mention in here of your movie. And yet you're here now promoting something that is not mentioned in your research. I find that either a huge failing on our part or negligence on your part. Who's the guilty party?
B. It's B.
So you
I
didn't
have
bring
nothing
it
to
up.
do with it. I know, I don't.
Does this movie even exist?
No, I needed something to talk about when I came here, so I saw some of the films that were playing at Sundance. No, I'm all over that thing. I invested in it,
Okay.
and without that, it wouldn't have gotten made, unless you invested in it. But no, you went with the kicking with the legs thing.
If I had legs, I'd kick you. I didn't put a dime into it.
What is the name of your character in this so-called movie?
Chip Chutley.
Chip Chutley.
Yeah.
I never thought
This
there'd be
remi-
a
this-
name worse than Conan O'Brien, and now you just told it to me.
What you said reminded me of a story. I don't think I've told this story, but once I'm interviewing John Lovitz, your compatriot on the on Saturday Night Live, and he was promoting a comedy club. Remember when John Lovitz had a comedy club here in
on City Walk?
on City Walk?
Yeah.
And
It used to be B.B. King's.
yeah, and then he turned it into a comedy club, and it had like a tropical theme.
Yeah.
But John Lovitz had this comedy club, and he had 2 segments. In the first segment, he was like, "It's a great comedy club, Conan, and everyone's got to check it out. You got to see it. It's gangbusters." And he was going on and on about the comedy club, and then we went to commercial, and the band's playing, and he leaned over and he went, no one's coming to the club. You got to help. You got to invest. He said that during the commercial break. And I'm like, what? And he went, no, would you want to come in on it? I mean, we're sort of treading water right now, but we're going down. And I'm like, what? Really? And he was like, come on. And I said, well, I have to talk to my accountant. And then he was like, well, talk to your accountant. You got to come in fast because I don't know how long we can hang on for. And then just then I get the signal and I went, hey, we're back. And he went, oh, I got to tell you, it's going gangbusters.
Was this back in the 40s?
It's John Lovitz. He's trapped in the 40s.
Well, I think one of the problems is the tropical theme you mentioned.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I was there once.
But I swear to God that really happened. And every now and then something happens that was just that should be in a talk show about, it should be it's a Larry Sanders moment. Yeah. He's pitching his club. I throw to commercial and he's like, you got to help me out. We're in trouble. And then he comes back from commercial and says, we're going right to the moon. And I couldn't believe it. It was stunning. You had one of my favorite moments on our show that was spontaneous where you were we were chatting together on the show. You were paneling, you were talking, and suddenly there was a lull in the conversation. Things got quiet for just a second, and you looked around, you said,
where is our waiter?
I love that. You're so good with silences. I guess you'd have to be.
No kidding around. I'm used to silence. Mm-hmm. And as a stand-up comic, a seasoned stand-up comic, I don't mind silence. Mm-hmm. As you're starting off, silence is bad because you're insecure and you feel like you have to keep going. I've been silenced for like a half hour on stage. People don't say anything because they know I'm formulating ideas and I'll be coming back strong with something.
Or your mind is blank.
Or I'm just blanking out.
Yeah.
Which is the most common reason.
As we've seen today, that there could be issues.
What do you really want to do, Conan? I'm being really serious now. Are you happy with this? What is it, podcast? Or is it a web series or a podcast?
I think we'd call it
By the way,
podcast.
my hiking show airs on YouTube.
Yeah. We've talked about
No, we didn't talk about YouTube. On my own channel. I have a YouTube channel, believe it or not.
Oh, congratulations. Are you happy with that?
Very happy.
You fulfilled?
Very happy.
Are you fulfilled? You should be. You're one of the funniest people I know. You have, as I said, a lovely wife, a very good-looking, funny, intelligent son. You've got it all.
You're right. Why do I come here?
Well, you're here to see me because I know you admire me. I know that you think I'm one of the all-time funniest people you've ever met. Now, that's just...
You really have to kind of... you really have to assess the situation. I have everything, yet I drive across town to come here because I worry about you.
Oh, what are you worried about?
Stress, your stress level. Have you had what's your blood pressure?
Oh, my blood pressure is very good. I don't know the numbers.
Because you're taking like 20 pills, right?
No, I don't have high blood pressure. I went to my doctor a couple of days ago. True story. He took my blood pressure, and this is what they always say. Wow, nice. That's what doctors always say about my blood pressure. I have very good blood pressure.
What's bad about you?
Well, I guess my intentions, my plans.
How is your cholesterol?
Cholesterol's okay. It's pretty good.
You never hear it wow nice about that?
No, I don't hear wow nice
you
about
just hear
cholesterol.
Wow.
No, I hear, okay. I had when I was on the Simpsons.
Wait for applause. Okay.
And I worked on the Simpsons. And they had a van came to the Fox lot, and everyone got a free cholesterol test. And everyone went and got their cholesterol. And I got mine. I was, I think, 24. It was so high that the nurse offered to walk me back to the office. Yeah, it was like practically 300.
What happened? Why was it that high?
I think just I was very... and it's funny, it doesn't really, I don't think runs in my family. So and then someone told me that stress, Now, you remember me back in the day. I was a tightly wound,
very tightly wound
guy who would rub my fingers together. I was burning. I was a burning coal.
You have no fingerprints anymore. You've rubbed them so many times.
That's why I've committed so many successful murders.
Really?
But I believe that stress was a big part of it.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm much better now.
And
much better now.
It's not genetic.
No, I don't think it's genetic.
Does it run in your family?
No, I said that earlier and you weren't listening.
What is the age? So we're talking about life and disease. So I'm not just springing a different topic on you.
Mm-hmm.
What is the age where people don't ask when somebody dies, what happened? You know, it's like, is it 82?
I think you got to be well into your 80s now. People live longer.
They
Everyone
do.
says what happened. My brother Neil will say what happened if, Norman Lear just turned 100. If he lives another 7 years and then passes away quietly in his sleep, and I call my brother Neil and say, Norman Lear passed away at 107, Neil's going to go, what happened?
Oh, he's like the only person that does that.
He does that every time. And I say, well, he was on his motorcycle and he ran into an Exxon tank and it exploded.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he wants from me, but he always says, what happened?
Yeah.
The person could be 95, 98. What happened? What happened?
Well, I think it's maybe 85 now with it. So essentially, you could kill somebody over 85. You can murder them and nobody will investigate it.
That's not true. I want to be a responsible.
From my experience, it is.
I want to be a responsible podcaster, and I want to say that that's not the case. That when the police show up and there's an 88-year-old lying there and there's a chainsaw halfway through their head and a note that says, I finally got you, ha ha, enjoy hell, they're going to investigate. They're going to investigate.
That's all natural causes right there.
Not natural causes.
Yeah.
The note is not in the victim's handwriting. And there's a PS that says, I love to murder.
Could be a comic.
Okay. Got it.
Take a break. We'll be right back.
Listen, you've met them all. You've met them all. You met Johnny Carson, obviously, and you got to be a guest on Carson's show. Of course, there are a lot of young people that don't understand the significance of that, but that was a very different time. If you went on Johnny Carson, it was a huge deal, and you were sort of anointed a star by being on his show.
Well, I never got a star. Do you have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I do not.
Okay, good. It's funny because Johnny Carson. Can we be serious? Johnny Carson was like the guy, the talk show king.
He was the only one, really.
He validated you as a comic.
Yeah.
And you'd have that on the top of your bio.
Yeah.
And then as time went by, you lower it down the list of things you've done. And then all of a sudden you take it off because it dates you.
Yeah.
And so Johnny Carson is no longer on my resume.
Really? I'd keep it on forever.
Do you have a resume?
I do. I refresh it every day.
8x10?
Yeah. I'm always ready to go. I have one in the trunk of my car just in case things hit the fan.
Who was the first famous celebrity you ever met or saw?
I want to say it was James Coburn. I think we talked about this on an earlier episode of the podcast.
I may not have been listening. Oh.
I was a kid, and he was James Coburn.
He was the best.
Was shooting a movie.
Charades?
No. He was shooting a movie.
Just trying to help you.
You're not really. And they were shooting a scene outside my dad's hospital, and my dad brought us all down to watch. And
why was your dad in the hospital? What did he have?
He's a doctor.
Oh, he's a doctor.
Yeah, he had a career there. That's what he had. And my dad was in the hospital, clinging to life. Saw James Coburn,
and he was a doctor.
dragged himself out of the hospital, and made us all come. And then went back to his operation. But anyway, we watched James Coburn. He had to walk up to a car, and all he had to do was open the car door and get in. He went to do it, and the car door was locked, and he couldn't get in. And then I watched the crew spend 45 minutes with a coat hanger trying to open it, and I thought, this is the business I want to be in. This is magic.
Do you want to know who I saw?
Not really. I think I'm good.
Do you notice when somebody asks you a question, they really want you to ask them it back?
Oh, I know. I don't care who you saw. No, I'm going to play along.
Like sometimes somebody will say, well, I'll get to it. Sometimes somebody will say to me, what do you, if you can improve anything with me, what do you think it should be? Well, what they really want to say is, I'd like to improve some things about you. Ask me, ask me to, what you would like. The first celebrity I've ever seen, or famous person, was John F. Kennedy, believe it or not.
How'd you see John F. Kennedy?
I was probably 7 at the time, and we lived in Germany, and he was, I guess, on his way to Berlin, and he was in...
to give the famous speech.
Yeah.
He'd been in Berliner,
Why do you keep interrupting me? See, what goes around comes around. So we were at this Air Force base because we knew he was going to be there, and everybody was there. And he drove by in that Lincoln, that convertible Lincoln. He was waving, and we actually have a movie, an 8mm of him.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Color or black and white?
We colorized it.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
With crayons. Now let me finish.
Crayons. Did you say crayons?
Crayons.
Crayons. No, what is wrong with you? It's crayons.
How do you say OFTEN?
Often.
Often.
No.
It's often.
No one says that.
How can it be crayons and not often?
Okay,
The second celebrity I saw was Cary Grant at the JFK. He was on the back of a golf cart.
Oh, I thought you said he was chasing JFK.
You thought I said because you weren't listening again.
I thought JFK drove by and then Cary Grant was running behind him. Hold on a minute. JFK, it's me, Cary Grant. Judy. Give a fella a lift.
Hi, my name is Kevin Nealon, and I feel. Okay, let me try that again. It's Kevin Nealon, right? Okay. Hi, my name is Kevin Nealon, and I feel duped about helping Conan O'Brien. Oh, sorry, let's try
You
again.
didn't help me. How did you help me? It's with being Conan O'Brien's friend.
It's subliminal. It's subconscious. Subconscious.
I didn't dupe you.
Subconscious.
You are here to promote.
I wish I knew there was homework. I would have done this at home. All right, hang on a second.
No. I want all of this in, by the way. I want all of this in.
I feel blank about being Conan O'Brien.
I think that's
the right
correct.
answer? What is the right answer?
There is no right answer.
Okay.
There's just what you feel inside, but you're an empty man. You're an empty medicine cabinet.
I feel... Hi, my name is Kevin Nealon, and I feel obligated about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
I
do feel that way.
Do you really?
I feel like you do have no friends.
Okay, well, first of all, that's a terrible thing to say. I know you'll take it back eventually.
Is there any more print on here? Or just
I'm going to take that piece of paper away from you. Listen to me.
All right.
You often come to me and ask me for favors, and I always do them.
You know what? You're right.
Is that true? Is that true?
Every time I ask you, he's going to draw the line here. He's not going to do this. And yet, time and time again.
I met you in the woods to shoot your Kevin Nealon Takes a Walk.
It's hiking with Kevin. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I think because subliminally I wish you would take a walk. To shoot your podcast, you had me meet you early in the morning, and you trudged me all around the place, and I thought I was a real good sport about it. You're taking us. Stop sipping. What are you sipping?
Tell me something I don't know.
Okay.
You don't think I knew you weren't a good sport?
You use me. You use me all the time.
I did use you. I do.
And then you act as if you're obligated to be here on the podcast today.
I don't act like it. I am obligated.
You're here to promote your book. I'm helping you get the word. I brought
the book because I thought you would have some nice reading material here since it's so slow.
I don't know that you're a good friend. I honestly don't. I've known you for a long time.
And there's pictures in there too, if you don't feel like reading.
Okay. We're going to get to the book because I have some problems with the book. Namely, it's all these iconic people in television that you've worked with. And okay, now he's doing visual bits. Let me describe.
It's not a visual bit at all.
Yeah, you're drinking coffee with a straw while you drink water out of a glass.
If you replay this, you'll hear it's audible. I was slurping the straw. All right, come on, let's get down to it here, man. You think I could stay here all day?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you should stay here all day.
So yeah, you went on the hike with me. I appreciate that. The show's Hiking with Kevin is premiering October 27th as the new season 4.
How did you think our episode went?
I haven't edited it yet. Mm-hmm. But I'll fix it in post.
Fix it? I thought it was fantastic. You
were good. You lagged behind a little bit if I recall correctly.
Well, you kept making me stop because you had a drone that you brought that you operated to get overhead shots. You kept making me stop so that you could unfold and then apparently for the first time work this fucking drone to take overhead shots of us taking a walk because everyone wants to see the top of our heads while we walk through a forest. And then you'd say, stop, turn around. Okay, come back this way now. Come back. Now look like you're looking to the right. Now look like you're looking to the left. Now come forward. And we were on a public path, and it's very clear that you're not allowed to have drones in this area. And old ladies were coming by on their morning hike. And you'd say, watch out, watch out, watch out. And they'd be like, wait, is it a hawk? No, not a hawk. Keep moving through. Come on, let's go, ladies. It was the least pleasant hike I've ever taken.
How dare you?
How dare I?
I went out of my way to have a hike with you because I felt bad for you. And obviously you had no exercise. No, the drone is really a great addition. That's like you having a mic for your show.
I don't see
I'm not finished.
what the drone
I'm not
added.
finished with the, with the defense of the drone.
Okay.
The drone is amazing. And it's amazing to watch and editing. I'm serious about this because the guests are just standing around like, they're checking their phone.
Yes. Because you bully them.
But you take a look. You see the increased value and attraction to the show from the drone.
Okay, well, it stops. Every time we got a nice conversation going, you would say, hold it, stop, unpack this metallic suitcase, unwind and fold this drone.
What nice conversation are you talking about?
We had some nice chats going on, I thought. I thought we had a nice comedic role going, and you kept stopping it.
I think when we said goodbye to each other, that was a nice conversation.
You said, thanks, this'll do, turned on your heels.
I said, thanks, this'll barely do.
This'll barely do. That's right. And then I think you went and had coffee with the drone. I think you
know where that drone is? You know where that drone is right now?
Where?
It's in some dumpster because I crashed it.
Oh.
I crashed it into a tree, and it was like a high tree, and it was falling, hitting branch by branch. And I'm thinking to myself as it's falling, okay, it might be okay. It might be okay. And there's one rock under that tree, one big rock, and it hit that rock.
Uh-huh.
And it just scattered everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we should. This is all Hiking with Kevin. Hiking with Kevin's a terrific show.
No, it's a great show.
It's a great show.
And I get different guests like yourself, and I think when you're hiking outside, people let their guard down. Mm-hmm. Not you though, but most people let their guard down, and they're very, forthcoming.
Yeah, I had trouble putting my guard down because I kept dodging the drone as it got very close to my face.
Do you want to hear a true story? I was hiking.
Finally, sure.
Okay, forget it.
No. Let's go. Let's hear a true story.
I was hiking with Kim Basinger, and I almost flew the drone into her face.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine if I had done that? How fast I would have been running out of there?
Well, that's the other thing. I think your instinct shouldn't have been to run. It would be to help Kim in that moment and give her, I call her Kim because we're close.
Yeah.
And name a star I'm not close with.
How many people do you know? Have you ever counted?
Very few.
No, you've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere and I've met everyone.
But
who do I know? Who do I really know? I mean, I've met a lot of people.
But you're not that friendly. Are you? Look at me.
I think I am looking at you. I think
For 1 minute, look at me.
I think I am a friendly fellow. I really do. Sona, jump in. Do you think I'm a friendly fellow?
I want to take Kevin's side.
Okay, you know what we're going to do?
First of all, you're not a fellow.
We're going to just pretend I didn't throw it to Sona.
Okay.
Or is there a way we can edit in a "you sure are, boss"?
Why did you think that would turn out differently?
I don't know. I think I am a friendly chaparoo. I really do.
Do you think you're a good listener?
I didn't hear a word. I have tinnitus.
It's the spits. They're getting to
the
me.
straw bits are fantastic.
Do you have a good memory?
I think I do. Sure.
All right. And you're a good listener?
I'm a good listener.
I'm going to give you a date.
Okay.
October 27th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2022.
Yep.
What's happening on that date?
That is the date that you are doing something to help you. I'm going to guess it's date.
Not just me, but other people as well. And I'll explain.
Okay, go ahead.
No, well, what's the date first?
Well, I think we both know that it's a day where Kevin Nealon is going to do a lot to get his own name out there under the guise of helping others. What is it you're doing?
What is that?
I don't know, honestly.
Oh my God. So you know, right?
No.
It's a benefit.
It's Hiking with Kevin. It's premiering the 4th season.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Why do I even bother coming here if you're not listening?
Can I say that again and we can drop that in?
No, we can't.
Because I want to make sure Kevin looks good.
No.
And yes, I do hike with people that are very nice to do it, and they don't complain or make me feel guilty. And it's helping them too because it's exercise. And I've started so many people on hiking. You know, people start hiking.
I canceled my trainer to go hike with you and ended up standing in a forest while you assembled and disassembled the drone.
I didn't realize
I got less exercise with you than I would have had I blown off the Hiking with Kevin show. And now listen, people listening right now are thinking these two don't like each other, and I want to make it very clear.
Oh my God, not in the least sense.
I want to make it very clear. Look at me. I love you. I love you.
Conan, I love you more. If you should die today or even tomorrow, I would...
Wait, is it today or tomorrow? I'd like to know.
Hopefully today. No, I'm kidding. I love you. And I'm a little concerned about you because, I mean, I'm not kidding around. I said, who was I talking to the other day? Do you remember?
I don't.
I was thinking, that Conan, man, he just doesn't stop. What is he running from?
Oh.
Or what is he running to?
What is he running to?
Yeah.
What is it that you're trying to do? What kind of void are you trying to fill?
This is
Look at me.
Incredible.
Look at me.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. I think that's an incredibly deep question. I think it's a fair question. I think, like a lot of us, I have things to work out. You yourself, famously, don't connect. You often don't look at me. Over the years, you are a guy that internalizes a lot.
How can I look at you when I read about you all the time and I see you everywhere? Posters, billboards, stickers, Banksy pictures of you on the side of broken down buildings.
Well, first of all, they put them on broken down buildings because they erase them if you put them on like a Citibank. Yes, I suppose I've become somewhat of an iconic figure. You are iconic. I don't.
When you die, which may be soon,
it's either today or tomorrow.
I swear, Banksy's going to do pictures of you everywhere.
Yeah, I hope so.
And
I hope so.
And you're going to be a legend one day.
Mm-hmm. Not now.
Some people say that I'm a legend right now, but don't you have to be dead to be a legend? I could be legendary right now.
I think you can be legendary while you're still alive.
Yeah, legendary, but a legend, you think?
Sure. Yeah.
And how so?
Well, oh God, he's taking another sip. It's a visual. This is an audio medium, and you're doing visual shtick left and right.
I'm not looking for laughs. I'm just behaving as I would. In front of an iconic legend.
I give you every opportunity. I try and connect with you. I'll tell you one thing you do that I do find very revealing. I get texts from you because you live around the corner from me, and the texts say, I'm hiking past your house right now. Do you want to join me? But I don't get the texts in real time, and you give me no notice. So you refuse to make a plan to take a non-filmed hike with me. You'll take a hike, and then you'll text me as you're walking past my house.
It's not filmed, but I do have the drone with me.
But I'm curious about that. I think it's because you don't really want to take a walk with me. You want to look like you're making the effort, but you text as you're passing. I don't think you can make a plan to be social.
First of all, you say I'm hiking past your house. You make it sound like we're in the woods and you live in a cottage, up in some trail.
Okay.
But no, I'm just walking by your house.
Was that gas you just had right now?
No,
what happened?
No.
What's happening right now?
I had gastric bypass this morning.
This morning.
Yeah, on the way
over.
over.
You still kept this appointment to be here.
Do you know I was 350 pounds when I left my house today?
I know that they took the walls down to get you out.
Hey, what about those people that are those plus sizes that can't get out of bed?
Yeah. It's tough. That's rough.
Do they build the house around them? Is that how they get in there?
No, I think the idea is that they gain the weight while they were in the house.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I don't think a contractor comes in and builds the house around them.
You don't think they came into the garage?
Look
at me.
Seriously.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Conan O'Brien. I first met you, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
You were very nice to me. I famously told Lauren you were my favorite cast member.
I never knew that.
Yeah, you did. I told you that. And he frowned.
A famous cast member?
My
In what
favorite,
way?
You were my favorite cast member.
Cast member or stand-up?
No, you were my favorite
Oh.
cast member on SNL. I told Lauren that. He said, which is your favorite? And I said, I think I like Kevin the best because he's
Smart.
He's very, take it easy. I'm getting there. You can't even let me compliment you. I said a lot of nice things about you.
I feel uncomfortable when someone's talking nicely about me.
Okay.
Why
well,
is
let's go
that?
back
Why
to
is
the
that,
other
doctor?
way. I'll tell you why. Because deep down, you know you're not worthy of it.
Wow, that is so true.
Yeah. You
That is
know
so
that
true.
you're just a bully.
But when I came here, I thought,
An interrupter.
when I came to your show, I thought to myself, this is a show I am worthy for.
Yeah.
Even though everything else, I'm unworthy. But
you finally found a bar low enough. Good for you.